Good evening. Tonight we have two presentations. Our first presentation tonight is going to come from Eric Myers. Eric is a club member and currently treasurer for the MHAA. He's also a physicist at SUNY New Paltz College here, where he has taught courses that include particle physics, the physics of sound and music. His research has included gravitation in extra dimensions, cosmic string formation in the early universe, and the detection of gravitational waves. In the past, he has given talks to the club about Einstein at home and multi-messenger astronomy. Tonight, he'll be doing a short presentation on the club's newly acquired Seestar. And with that, give a warm welcome for Eric.
Okay, so we've got this new telescope that I pushed for us to purchase. I don't have any slides to show anything about it. What I thought I would do is just fire the thing up and show it to you. And we can't look at the sky because we're in a building, but I can show everything else about it. So Steve, if you can change the view. So we've actually got two of them here. Bart brought his, which is already set up. And this is the club's version of it. And it comes in this foam case. And it comes with its little tripod. Nice, solid and stiff here. And then this is the telescope. It's just a little box. This is a kind of astronomy that not just electronically assisted astronomy, but electronic astronomy, because the whole telescope is in here and you control it with a mobile device. I can do it with my phone. I can do it with an iPad, and I'm going to show the iPad. The first thing we've got to do, well, let's see. You can extend the legs. I don't think we need to, though, on the table, right? No, you don't. No. Now, one of the things I'll say about this is it's not very tall. So if you put it on the ground, people are likely to trip over it or just not see it. And so one of the things I did was put glow-in-the-dark tape on the tripod. I also put some on this itself. The power button, I figure in the dark I won't see it. So I put a little tape. I don't know if I need that because you can feel around, but you push it and hold it. Bart's is already on, and you can see that it's got 4 little red lights that will light up. And that's actually also the fuel gauge. Just like in your car, when you got 2 out of 4 lights, it's half full. The charge on this thing has been great for one night. So you don't have to worry about running. It's told me that it's powered on and ready to connect. And I can hear some motors running in here. Now, what I'll do is I need to join the Zoom call from my iPad. I know I did this earlier, but I want to go through the whole process. Oh, look, I can see myself. Okay.
Put it up, we could go to infinity.
Well, so what I've got here, I will share my screen. Can you see? Yes. Okay. So I'll find the Seestar app. It rotates around. No. It did rotate eventually. Okay. Now it's not, but well, and the Seestar app doesn't rotate when you're in this mode. So this is the home screen for the Seestar app. Can you take that to full screen here for the people in the room? There we go. So this is the screen, and it tells you all sorts of things about what's up now. And I found it a little bit busy at first, but the main thing that I've got to do here, first of all, is connect my device, my iPad to the telescope. So at the very top, you see a picture of it. It says Explore the Universe with Seestar, and there's a button that says Connect. So I will touch that, and it will say, oh, and this is great. Which Seestar do you want to connect to? Because Bart's is already here. I want the one that's named MHAA Seestar. That's this one. So I'll push the Connect button. And it's connecting by Bluetooth, but what happens is the telescope sets up a little Wi-Fi hotspot, only it doesn't connect to the internet. So we've taken to calling that a not spot. And so the iPad says, do you want to join this Wi-Fi network? Yes. And it will take a little while to do that. But now it can talk, they talk back and forth by Wi-Fi. Bluetooth is a good way to signal, hey, I'm here, but it's not very good for a lot of data control. So now we're connected. And it shows me, in fact, that the telescope has the battery has 80%. So I've got 4 bars here. If I go down to below 75 tonight, you'll see the fuel gauge goes down. And the first thing I'm going to do is push the button that says open the arm. Steve, why don't you switch to the view so we can see the... Oh, it is on that one? Oh, I'm sharing the screen.
Yeah, you're sharing the screen.
I'm sharing the
It's
screen.
your fault.
Yeah, it's my fault. Okay, well, the arm's coming up. There's not much to watch here. In fact, in the dark, I found it difficult to know what this thing was doing. I also put a little glow-in-the-dark arrow so that I could tell where it's pointing, because otherwise it's just like making noises in the dark, and I wanted to kind of at least have some confirmation. So it looks like The Last Airbender with the big arrow on its head, but now it's up here. And now we would point it at something by selecting something to look at.
Go ahead and select something.
And let's select and see what it knows. Well, let's see, the moon we could try for. Oh, actually, before I do anything, I need to take the lens cap off. Normally it doesn't come with it, but okay, so in addition to buying this, which comes with the case and all this, it's a 2-inch aperture. So this is the Seestar 50, that's 50 millimeters. It doesn't come with a lens cap, but you can get this extra kit from High Point that has a lens cover and a filter holder. Let's do a filter holder that also just is a friction fit in here, but it's got a screw-in threads for a standard 2-inch filter. And so this is a rather blue-looking moon filter. I don't know that it's actually really neutral density, and it also comes without having to buy it extra, it comes with a solar filter. I've tried it out quickly, and again, the solar filter, this all fits into the opening here. You don't have to, there's no eyepiece to put any filters on. You're filtering the front of the telescope, not the back. Okay, so if we pick something, let's see. Well,
We should see both.
we should.
Video here.
Oh, you can see me? Okay, good. So, well, I can pick from the 3 things. Do I want to go stargazing along the top? Do I want to look at the solar system? Or do I want to look at scenery? Because you can actually take this out in the daytime and look at something far away. In fact, I was seeing some of us were at Innisfree, and from the point there with Owl Rock at Innisfree, you would have a wonderful view of the eagle's nest that's across the lake. And I thought to do that, maybe I'm going out there tomorrow. Maybe I would. Okay, anyway, let's try solar system. So I tap on solar system, it gives me a list of the things that I could look at on whether they're available or not. Saturn is 15 degrees, Pluto, the moon is only at 12 degrees, the sun is not visible. Let's go for Saturn. So I'll tap on Saturn and it tells me all about it. And it even shows a graph of the visibility as a function of time. And then when I say go gazing, it will. And it we'll try to figure out where that is. Now, I'll take the solar filter off. I actually don't know if this is going to need to do some kind of plate solving to find where it is. It knows where it is from GPS. It knows its orientation. I know it's got a magnetic compass in it, and it's got accelerometers. So how it actually figures out where it is, it goes where it thinks it is, and then
Yeah, exactly.
and it will fail because we're inside a building. Okay, so at that point, I'm going to punt to images I've already got. But you can see on the screen what it's doing, and it's trying to find it. It thinks it's within a tenth of a degree of it, and if we told it that was the sun, but it would try to go to the real sun. Yes, we take manual controls. You can turn the controls off and on with this. Up underneath Saturn is the little arrows to hide the user interface. Doesn't work while it's in detection mode. So maybe I need to, we're not going to find Saturn, right? But you can see that it's just all autonomously moving itself around. So I'll cancel this. It's going to take a little bit of time. And we're back to, oh, this is a live view now. So I can steer by, do you see the little circular dot up to the right? That, when I touch on that, I get controls that let me steer the scope around. So I should be, let me change it to fast. Okay, good. I'll try and wrap it up. No, it's not respond. Oh yeah, so it's turning around. And I can raise it up. Not getting a very good view here, but it gives a live feed of what it's seeing. And it's rotating. This is the fast speed. Yeah, this is fast when it's, okay, so we're inside of a building. So maybe we give up on that. So in the upper left corner, and this was hard to find, there's a little down chevron that gets me back from that mode. And here I am back to the main screen. If I go to my album, you'll see some of the things that I've done before so that this can give you an idea. So on Saturday night at International Observe the Moon Night, we observed the moon and also Saturn. So here's some pictures. This is with the moon filter. And we can zoom in more. This is actually a screenshot. I wanted to show you not just the picture that it took, but what the interface looks like when you're using it. And you can see you've got controls to 1 times, 2 times, and 4 times. You can do a time lapse or video, and then controls on the right. AF is autofocus, and some of these other things, I have to remember what they are, but it shows exactly what you see when you're controlling it. So you've got all these controls on the screen while you're looking, which may or not be distracting, but when you take an image, it's just the image. And right, and that's actually, that's the 4 arrows pointing out along the top yeah, that's the full screen button. Okay, so we go back here. Now, we also had Saturn, and I've seen better pictures of Saturn, images of Saturn through a telescope, but this is not too bad for a little 2-inch telescope, right? So one of the things about this device is it's got a fairly small aperture, so it's not great at collecting light, but you can see that's definitely a planet with rings, and you can stack with it. It will do, as you're looking at deep space objects, but not the planets or the moon, as you're looking, and I'll get to that, it'll do live stacking, and then you can actually stack images from multiple sessions. So this is what Saturn looks like through this at the highest magnification. Not that impressive, I think. This was the full screen image. This again, this is a screenshot so you can see what the controls look like, and this is what the image looks like. Okay, we did the moon. So, and I don't have any images of the sun. I quickly got out and looked at the sun the other day, and you can see the sunspots, and I should have taken some images. Let's go for some deep space objects. Now, when you go and find something, here's a picture. Oh, this was the horizontal calibration. This thing, it does, as it's doing what it needs to do to get everything set up. If it doesn't think that it's leveled enough, it will instruct you on how to level and show you two circles, and you've got to move it around and get it right until you're within, I think, 0.3 degrees. And Bart has this very nice leveling addition mount to his tripod. I have to just extend the legs, and it's a pain. It also at one point wanted to calibrate the compass, which means I had to pick it up and turn it around. So, okay, it's just like you do with some phones where you had to be sure about it. Well, this is a little better. Oh, this is I think Saturn zoomed in. So it's the 4 times image, but you can pinch zoom also, just to get that. That's a digital zoom. It's not an actual zoom of the thing, but it's a digital zoom. But this is again is a screenshot of the interface. And there's okay. Okay, here's a star field, and I'm not quite sure what. Actually, you're right. This is Polaris. I took it out in my front yard, and it was a little cloudy, and I couldn't find anything, and it was getting confused. And I thought, well, let's go astro hopping. You can find Polaris, and it did. And once we'd found Polaris, I could find Alcor and Mizar. There they are. Okay, and then I was trying to find T Corona, but to hop down, but I didn't get to that. And this thing does not know about T Corona, so you can't. One of the things you type in what you want to go to, and if it doesn't have it there, you could. I think you can put in coordinates. I haven't tried that, but I didn't have the coordinates. I was just. So that's a nice thing to show people what a double star looks like, especially one that they might know. Is that okay? Ring Nebula has been nice. And when you're looking at deep space objects, it will sit there and say enhancing, and a little timer goes around for 10 seconds. So it's stacking, it's live stacking as best I can tell, but it's not calling it that. But so this has been pretty nice. Okay, this
it's also subtracting dark.
And subtracting the dark. So it's enhancing, right? So it's doing all of that for you.
You can also, the default is 10-second images,
Yes.
but you can also set it for 20-second or 30-second.
Okay.
And you can also set it to save the original images if you want to take them off and stock them yourself later.
Okay, great. I haven't found that part yet. But. Okay, this is, I think, M101. And you can see the glow down below, the M31. Let's go back here, M31. I've never seen this through a telescope like this. This is great for me as a beginning astronomer to see this view of it that looks more like what I've seen in pictures in books and things, because when I go out and look at it, it's just kind of this fuzzy blob that's not there. Now, it's only a 2-inch aperture, so it's not good at collecting light, but it's sitting there for 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, collecting photons. Your eyeball only collects photons and then after a while forgets them because of persistent lack of persistence. This is very persistent vision, and it just stacks and stacks and stacks, and things like this come out. So this is the thing that I really like about this, is to be able to see deep space objects like this. One more example to show you. I think that's the ring. A lot of people have seen Albireo. And in the live view, do I have the screenshot of it? Let me see if I've got. No, that's Alcor. And that's the scenery view. So I like to show people Albireo because you can distinctly see that little blue star next to the larger yellow star. But when you're collecting all the photons, it gets fuzzy and they're bumped up together And yes, you can kind of see that there's two things there, but it's actually worse as far as dramatic presentation.
Probably just 10 seconds is too long.
So, but even then, if you keep enhancing and stacking and stacking,
Too long.
so in fact, you can have a preview version where you're not enhancing, where you're just looking in real time through the thing, and that actually gives a better view of Albireo, more like looking through a regular telescope. So
Now we're stacking down to like a second or something.
but then it's still stacking, and it will enhance, and
But
it'll
that's
it'll
okay. Just seems not about
okay.
Anyway.
Okay, the last thing, you can use it for scenery. The first day I got it out it was cloudy, you can see, and so I just found a crane that was across campus, and I didn't realize that the rope was swinging. The crane, I just looked at the crane, but then, okay, I'm looking at the crane and it starts moving out. I'm looking at the crane and I'm looking at the crane and I'm looking at the crane, and suddenly, what's wrong? I'm looking at the telescope, it's moving. But no, actually they were moving the crane at the time and it moved out of my field. So you can do scenery, you can do deep space objects, you can do planets, sun and moon. And I think for it's best for deep space objects. It's really simple to use with your device. You can save your photos to your album or whatever. We got it for the club. It was on sale for $449, and I bought direct and there was no tax. It's now $499. The extra filter and kit was another $82. So this is a really good way to start doing astronomy for cheap. And we have one of them now, and we will pass it around, I think, so that other people can try it. But that's my report on first contact with the Seestar. So Joe's waiting. When we go out for pizza, I'll answer my questions, and actually, huh? We could do it after Joe. And also Bart and Michael have Seestars, and do you have one as well?
No.
You're just reading all about it and knows everything that I don't. Right. So we could all answer questions because I'm still a newbie at this. Okay, let's hear from Joe. The warm-up act is done.